in a, I wouldn't say a massive interview, but he had some good things to say. He had some things that got picked up that are actually quite negative as well. But I want to talk about the positives first before we get into some of the negative things or stuff from last year, really. Ahmad says that we are a different team now. The atmosphere in the dressing room is positive. It's much better than last season. We want to do better, and we will do better. I almost take that as it's almost basically as a promise. We will do better. He says we're improving a lot as a team. Last season, we were going to the game thinking we had already lost. This season is different. The mindset has changed, different energy. We think we can win every match. We're not satisfied with our current standing, but we are going to do better. Now, there's a couple of ways of looking at this now, and they're both valid. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously the second bit there was Ahmad talking about, last season we didn't think we could win the games and this, that, and the other. But let's just focus on the positives first. And we'll talk about last season at the end, because last season is last season, right? We want to talk about here and now. And here and now, he's saying that, we're ready for every game. We actually believe we could win. Now, don't get me wrong. It's nothing to write home about. Man United player thinks that they can win. That's the minimum standard. But we have to remember, guys, our minimum standards have been in the bin, man. We haven't had any minimum standards for a while. So you have to rebuild them. And part of that rebuilding focus, that rebuilding phase, is for them players to start believing that they can win. It is that simple. Half of the shit that we see from the players, a lot of it is down to like their individual approach to games. How many times we said, look how slow they're playing, look how lethargic they look. And there's no quality in what they're doing. They're not taking care of the ball. They're not running hard enough. No one's pressing. There's no commitment. Like, those aren't necessarily Ruben things. They're individual things. They're player things. They're things whereby if 11 men don't cross the white line without their heads still left in the changing rooms, where they don't leave it all out on the pitch and they go, right, let's have these men today. We're going to win. We ain't leaving here with nothing. If you don't have that mentality, then forget the tactics, forget the principles, forget the training you've just done in the week leading up to the game. It goes out the window if you don't apply yourself. It goes out the window if you don't actually believe you can win. So I want to hear him say that. I want to hear him talk about the dressing room. He's saying it was completely different to last year. Now, obviously, we heard all the different types of things that were going on last year in the dressing room, how fractured the team was. And some of it, listen, I don't get into individuals. Like, I don't really buy into like, oh, Garnacho is a bad egg and he's bringing everyone down, or Rashford because he was training with everyone but didn't want to be there. It's so dead. It's his fault. Or, Bruno kept moaning all the time. I don't know who the individuals are. I'm not in there, so I don't really pay too much attention to that. But what we do know is what the players told us. And the players told us at various points, especially I think back to last summer when we was on tour with and we did an interview with Luke Shaw with the press. Like, he was making a lot about how, I can't remember the exact words. James from the Muppeteers, if he's listening, actually won't be watching, it's too early. But Luke Shaw said something along the lines of like, oh, it's good in the dressing room now. We've changed it, and there's a real togetherness now, and basically alluding to the fact that the players that have gone, like, it has made a difference. Stragglers, that's it. There's no stragglers in there. Everyone's in the same direction and stuff like that. But so when he said that, even then, that's signifying to us that there's, no one's carrying anyone anymore. There's accountability in that dressing room. There's people pulling their weight. So we knew that straight from the summer. And Ahmad's basically extending on that now, saying we are improving a lot as a team. Last season, we were going into every game thinking we had lost. That's not the case. Now, you can say maybe we can see a little bit of that because they're winning narrowly more games. Too early to say we turned the corner and all that, but results have picked up a little bit. We're not losing every week like we was last year. But you can also look at it and say, good, I want to see that. The only way was up anyway after last year. How could you not be that negative or that, unconfident in what you were doing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big mentality shift. We see this year with some of the younger players that are struggling for form or struggling with the pressure. It still all exists, people. Do you know what I'm saying? So no more stragglers. Shout out Luke Shaw from the summer, and shout out Ahmad for basically saying that's not us anymore. We're not the same team. Because if we're going to turn this around with Amram at the helm, we have to talk about the players as well. Amorim, 100%. I mean, we've had billions of conversations about Amorim, the system, negativity down to 10 men, still keep 3 centre-backs on the pitch. All of these things that we say Amorim's not good enough at. So he gets his fair share because he's the manager. But what did we always say? When we were back into Manager FC before, when we were like, these players, no more Player FC, don't let them get away with it. What on earth are they doing? We have to apply the same pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? When we lose matches, it ain't just all on Amorim. Just like when we win matches, it ain't all on Amorim. Do you know what I'm saying? When we win matches and the players play well and they run hard and there was a bit of individual brilliance, and like no one's saying it was an Amorim masterclass that Xerxes scored that goal. They're praising Xerxes. They're praising the passage of play. He took the ball down, took a great touch, and hit the ball in probably the only bit of the net that it would have went in. Great goal. Mason Mount, when he scores from the free kick, maybe you could talk a little bit about Carlos Fernandez and them guys working on set pieces. But Mason Mount's got to take the shot, keep it low, and put it in the bottom corner. It's not tactical brilliance from Amorim, is it? So sometimes when we win games, it ain't about necessarily, the manager did everything this, and it was because everything was coached perfectly. Sometimes you win games, because the players did something really well. The performance was good from the players, not necessarily because of a tactical masterclass, but because their mentality was there, their intensity was there. It didn't allow the opposition to get out of their box. It didn't allow them to get out of their heart. They were on it. They were keeping the opposition honest. You know what I mean? And for me, that's what's important. That's what's important. Accountability for both. So Ahmad is basically talking about that accountability and the fact that it's different in there. Ahmad says that we will make like I said, we're making a lot of progress. We are no longer defeatist. It does show you though on the negative side, in football terms, it does show you where we were at last season, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you lot, man. It does show you where we was at. We were defeatist. You know what I mean? We thought we were going to lose before we even got out there. Now how mad that is. Now how low on confidence you have to be in a dressing room where, like, last year, you're basically admitting that, when you were pulling up to games, bro, apart from the Europa League, these men were going into the game thinking we ain't winning. Not good.